Yo, what up, Wolfpack? This the Blind Wolf, and we back at it again. I'd like to thank everybody that subscribed, like, share, comment on these videos. I truly appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. All right, come on, Wolfpack, let's go on this journey. Y'all know I lost my eyesight July 7, 2007 while I was in prison. Well, I went through a lot of stuff in prison, you know, even stuff that I was dealing with before I went into prison carried on inside of there. Like, for instance, I got shot 5 times June 11th, 1999. And, years later, I still went through pain. To this day, I still go through pains from being shot 5 times. And I would be in that cell. And sometimes when it get to raining real hard, now I got shot 3 times in my stomach, once in my hip, and one went through my hand, through my wrist, and broke my arm and came out on the other side. I don't really go through that much with this, but every now and then I might have a little twinge in my wrist, and I gotta twist it around a little bit, and it'll, calm down. But other than that, I don't really go through too much in my wrist. But in my stomach, man, you talking about somebody that was going through it. Them bars, that steel, that concrete in there, when that stuff get cold, and that cold set into that prison, that cold set into your bones too. And if you got steel up in you, you got bullets and stuff up in you like how I do, man, that stuff get to hurting. That stuff get to hurting. And this is something that you're going to deal with going inside them penitentiary walls. You going to carry that cowboy lifestyle that you was living on the street, popping pistols, getting pistols popped at you. You got bullet holes and stuff all in you. You not right. Like, your body ain't right. It ain't equipped for this type of lifestyle in there. Like, nobody really is equipped to go to prison. It's just a rough life. But if you already have, medical problems and stuff going on with you, it's going to enhance it. It's going to make it worse. Straight up. Man, I'm talking about I be in that cell and my stomach be knotting me all up. I'm curled up, hold my stomach, hold my side. I got a bullet lodged in my hip bone. And then I got another bullet that then worked its way from all the way up here, down my leg, and came out of my leg while I was working a job at the Rite Aid warehouse. But that's a whole nother story. But man, I'm trying to tell you, you can be in there and that cold air hit you, man, it'll rock your whole day. It'll rock your whole day. And that ain't got nothing to do with all of the other stuff that you got going on inside the penitentiary wall, prison politics and the things that you might got going on. Like for myself, I'm in there, I'm losing my eyesight. And I'm in excruciating pain. And I'm in a cell with somebody that I just met moving into the cell. So I don't even really know the dude like that, but for the most part, like I said before, I had some good bunk buddies that I ain't really had, too many things to worry about with far as on that tip, you know what I mean? But it's all the what ifs. It's all the what ifs. Like, I'm still in a place where if he decided he want to come in this cell and his mind snap, I'm in this great deal of pain. It's nothing that I can do to defend myself like that, really. I can't even really stand up like that. And this is stuff that you got to deal with. This is stuff that you can't prepare yourself for this. There's no way that you can prepare yourself for getting shot, first of all. There's no way you can prepare yourself for doing prison time. You don't sit back and go to school and be like, all right, this is the first thing that you do when you go to prison. This is the first thing that you do when you get shot. You don't go through no training like that. So this is all stuff that you got to deal with on the fly. Right then and there, you got to deal with it. So, man, I'm talking about pains that it's no way I can really explain what I was really going through as far as with these pains from getting shot. And then you can try to put a sick call in. Ain't no emergency room. Ain't no emergency room. The only way it's an emergency room is if you bleeding or you knotted up. Other than that, put in a sick call slip and you gonna wait until they decide to call you over there. And that might not be that week. It might not even be that week. So by the time you get ready to get over there, you done went through everything that you got to go through. You just got to weather the storm. You got to weather the storm. So basically, you got to take that pain. You got to take it on the chin. You just got to deal with that. Like, I got bullet holes all up in me. Because I was living a cowboy life for real. I was living a cowboy life. I was running around with some dudes that was living cowboy life, and I was right on along with them. Running around the street with a big 357 in my dip, and my dudes, they was out here doing the same thing. And we was just on some wrong style living. Like I wasn't living for my potential. I was living for my death at that time. I didn't even care for real what happened with me, because I didn't feel like nobody really cared nothing about me. So I didn't care. I would go anywhere. I would do anything. And prison made me care. Prison made me care because it let me know that even though I felt like, stuff was so bad for me out there on the street, it can get worse. You can put you inside this concrete block with all this steel around you, and anything that you got going on with you, it's going to make it worse. It's going to be dirty. It's going to be wet. It's going to be cold. It's going to be hot as all outdoors in the summertime. You can actually see paint peeling off the walls sometimes. You're not going to be in the best conditions if you out here living that gangster life and then you go inside these penitentiary walls. You're going to go through pain. Trust me, I know. I've talked to other dudes that's been in there that, talk about, yeah, man, my goddamn leg hurting. Got shot in the leg. My arm hurting. My back hurting. These places dudes been shot, stabbed, been through something, traumatic. And I'm one of them. And I'm in here, I'm losing my eyesight. I done been shot up. I done been in all kinds of fights. So my body just sore. And when you go inside the penitentiary wall, when you step inside these cells, the cells alone, when they get cold, it's going to make you realize you got some other kind of demon coming at you. Like, prison is not just, the prison politics, dealing with administration. It's the actual box. That box by itself do stuff to you because you're sitting in a steel box. You cooking in the summertime and you're freezing in the wintertime. And if it's moist and wet outside, you can feel that stuff all up in there. You can smell it in the air. Ain't nothing but steel and concrete. Now you ain't got nothing blocking no wind. You ain't got nothing cooling you down. Ain't no such thing as no air conditioners. When I was in there. I don't know how prison is now, but it wasn't no such thing as no air conditioning. You hot. They get a fan, make that joint work. And a fan ain't nothing but about 13 inches. If 13 inches. You talking about something for grown men. Man, you got to be careful when you set yourself up to go inside them penitentiary walls because you just never know what you're going to deal with inside there. And being a victim of gunshot violence, you're definitely going to go through some aches and pains that you're not going to be really expecting to go through in life. But by you being so cold, in themselves, them things gonna throb. They gonna ache. They gonna give you arthritis. They gonna torture you in there, bro. They gonna torture you in there. Man, make sure y'all keep them 5 P's in mind, man. Proper planning prevents poor performance. When you properly planning for your life, first of all, you're not gonna be out there doing no foolishness like I was doing, trying to be no cowboy, running around with 357s and the shoot 'em up bang bang crew. You know what I mean? But that's what I was out there doing because I was living a foolish life. I wasn't living a life, for my potential to grow. I was living a life, like I said before, headed for death. And I didn't care. The only thing that I cared about was making sure that if I was going to go somewhere, I was going to leave my kids and stuff straight, and I was going to go out like a G. But that stuff started seeping out of my head in prison. You know, when I was going through all of this stuff and I started realizing that all of the people that I went through these things for, y'all not even in my corner like that. Y'all not even in my, I can't even get in contact with y'all like that. But I done been shot up. I done went to prison. All of this stuff, you know, dealing with the block. I lose my eyesight. I can't even get, you know, money orders and stuff from these dudes after time that went on. You know, you got a certain few that's there that's gonna rock out with you, you know, if you out there for real and you're a real one. Certain few. But who knows how long that's gonna last? Who knows how long that's gonna last? You know, they say going to certain places, only mothers and lovers coming. Only mothers and lovers. Your homeboys ain't even one of them. They're going to leave you high and dry. You're going to be up in there. You're going to be cold. You're going to be hungry. If you ain't keeping it real with your woman, your mother, you're in a bad situation when you're going up inside them penitentiary walls, because all the pains and stuff that you're going to have to deal with, you're going to have to deal with. All of the stuff that's going on inside of the penitentiary walls, you're going to have to deal with. All the missing what's going on uptown and stuff, you're going to have to deal with. And guess who you're going to have to deal with it with? By yourself. By yourself. Y'all be smart out there. Keep yourself from up out of these penitentiary walls, because you don't want to be up in there, you know, going through some uptown pain, making it worse because you in a box that's causing your already harmed body, injured body, to be hurting that much worse because of the conditions that you're living in. Man, and this is real to me. This is real to me because I actually sat up in them prison walls, and winters would go by and I could feel the bullet in my hip making my whole leg swell up because it hurt so bad. I can barely move my hip. I can barely get to the cafeteria. I can barely get to commissary, barely moving around to go to school or whatever it is that I need to do. Stay from about them penitentiary walls so you won't have to go through these things. You got much better options out here on these streets. You can get to a hospital, you can get to an emergency room, but you can't get to none of these things when you inside them penitentiary walls. You don't have to deal with the medical the way the medical is coming at you, and I want y'all to stay clear of that. They say you can't change holding on to the old you. The old me was healed up. The old me was healed up. I went inside them penitentiary walls messed up and came out even worse. So what was good in my life gave me some pain, but that pain gave me something to grow from, something to say, you know what, I'm not going to put myself back in this situation. And this is the pain that I'm talking about, the pain of being in prison and having to deal with all of these things enhancing and getting worse. I'm not putting myself through that situation. There's not one thing out here on these streets that could make me want to go back inside of these penitentiary walls, whereas though I could actually be having a bullet make my legs swell up again just for no apparent reason because it's cold. Nobody out here mean that much to me. And that's what you're going to be going through if you got situations like how I do, being shot, stabbed, injured bodies. You're going to go through these things. And ain't nobody gonna care about your situation but you. Y'all be strong out there. Y'all make sure y'all stay from about the penitentiary walls, because that medical up in there is not gonna be doing nothing for you. It's not gonna do nothing for your mental. It's not gonna do nothing for your physical. It's only gonna bring it down, and you're gonna get the worst of the worst. Remember, y'all getting this big love from the blind wolf. Wolf.